raised in the Lone Star Land, with boots on my feet and dreams in my hand. A little sassy but a whole lot of grace. You'll see that fire when you look in my face. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. From the bluebonnet fields to the city streets, every step I take feels like home to me. With a little sass and a lot of pride, this Texas girl's got nothing to hide. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright.
Gummy shoe prints laid them down the street. Chocolate wrappers hiding secrets sweet. They don't miss a beat, they've got a knack. With licorice ropes pulling answers back. Twist the wrapper to reveal the truth. A sticky web spun by a candy slough. No sour lies can escape the grip. These lollipops always crack the whip.
Sebastian, sweet boy, where have you gone? The sun sets low, but we keep marching on. The wind whispers your name soft through the pines, a melody aching in these hearts of mine. Roads are endless, the nights are cold, but your story's a light we'll never let go. Where are you, sweet boy Sebastian? We're searching the hills, the rivers, the plains. You deserve better, oh you deserve better. And your army is fighting through heartache and pain. Your laughter once rang like bells through the air. Now silence just lingers, it's more than we can bear. We carry your memory, a flag in our hands. Through shadows and valleys, through shifting sands. The roads are endless, the nights are cold, but your story's a light we'll never let go. Where are you, sweet boy Sebastian? We're searching the hills, the rivers, the plains, you deserve better. Oh, you deserve better, and your army is fighting through heartache and pain. Your laughter once rang through heartache and pain.
Well, hello, friends. How y'all doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody has had a super great weekend. I have to apologize right off the bat. I was planning to do a live yesterday, and it was late Friday evening when my daughter sent me a message about her daughter's game times on Saturday for the tournament. And my daughter-in-law sends me a message right after that that says, "Hey, little one here is going to play in the tournament tomorrow." So I have two granddaughters playing in the tournament. I headed out and went 2 towns over. And first game started at 8 o'clock, and the last one, the championship game for the oldest one, ended at about 8:30. And so my whole day was consumed with my girls, and I loved every minute of it. They both played so well, and I'm super proud of all of them. But I didn't get to go live yesterday, so for that, I am so sorry. So sorry. But here we are today. We're going to make up some time because, y'all, we got some stuff to talk about. Hello, Tropical Paradise. Welcome. Hello, Sheila and Brenda Sue. Hello to you. Hey, me and you. How you doing? Let's see. SL, good to have you, my friend. I got to email you back. I'm sorry I got distracted while ago trying to get everything ready for this live, and I will as soon as I'm through, okay? Daisy Dukes, how are you? TJ, hello. Jen in Georgia, hola. Hello to you. Hey, Blue Eyes. Always good to have you with us. Wild Child, how are you doing? Welcome. See, Michelle, hello. Let's see, anybody else sneaking in here? There's Charlene, how are you? And let's see, we got Crime and Justice. Hey, guys, we're going to show some things that she showed on her live and on a post that she had put out. And her link is in the description of this video. If you haven't already, TJ's going to be dropping her link in here. So please definitely make sure to sub up to her channel. Hey, Teresa. Let's see who else. Wild Wolf. Hello. We got Lori in the house. Hello to you. And YouTubers here. It's always good to have you. Always good to have all y'all. Bo, hello. Lisa King, hello. Kelly East, my friend, hello to you. Let's see who else we got in here with us today. Hang on, I'm trying to go through this very slowly so it doesn't jump on me. Let's see. I need to play music while I'm doing this. His Eyes, how are you? I'm so glad you caught a live. Good to have you. Hi, Diane. Good to have you with us too. Kathy, how are you? Kai, always good to have you. Cinderella, hello. Man, I'm so lucky to have all my friends here. Thank y'all for coming and joining me this evening. I appreciate it. Hey, Tam, how you doing? She's cooking, eating, and listening. That girl multitasking. Oh, goodness. Fine Summer's Truth. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Poor little Summer. She's just as lost as Sebastian is in her own case as well. Hello, Saucy. Betty Smith. Glad you caught up with us today. Hello, Peggy. Pitter patter. Hello. There's Baba Rose. How you doing? Good to have you. Hey, Pebbles. So good to have all y'all with us today. We got us a full house today. We got some stuff to talk about, y'all. Woof woo. Hello, Canadian True Crime. How are you doing? Well, so let's do some talking, shall we? All righty. As always, keep those who are not feeling well in your prayers. I haven't heard from Bobby lately, so let's continue to pray for her. And hey, Sheila Blix, how you doing? Look at her, got some pumpkins up there. It's spooky. It's spooky month, y'all. Spooky month. But yeah, definitely keep those in Miss Kathy as well. She's not been feeling well, also, in the E family, if you will, please. Now, let's talk property flipping and burner phones. Okay. Let's start with some property talk, y'all. I don't know if any of y'all remember in past lives that we've done, I've mentioned several times about how property's being swapped around like crazy. We talked about it. Next thing you know, there is Craddock owning 4 houses. Next thing we know, his wife's name got put on all of those homes. I guess he was feeling the burn a little bit. His ears were burning. My granny used to say, if your ears are burning, somebody is talking bad about you. And so you never know. You never know who's listening. But everybody in the bushes, hello to you, by the way. Everybody on replay, hello to all of y'all. So I've mentioned that several times. And it was yesterday after I had gotten home last night. I was sitting here and I was trying to wind down a little bit because it was really exciting day. And I got on my tablet and started looking, and I thought, you know what? Let me look into this property thing. Oh, y'all, we're fixing to show all the receipts here. Hey, Rusty Pipes, good to have you join us. Welcome, welcome. Now, as I said, Crime and Justice put out a post that showed all these property places. In Crime and Justice, I hope you don't mind giving you full credit, 100%. And I'm going to share those photos because it leads right into what we've all been talking about. So let's look here. Oh, Cassie Proudfoot. She's got property. Let's go here, all the way down south in New Orleans. Mr. Chris got property. Over here by Destin, Terry and Kathy Bowersox got property. Oh, looky here. Tennessee, Gatlinburg area. Over to the left, we got Kathy and Terry Bowersox. There's another Kathy Bowersox. In the middle, we got Terry and Kathy Bowersox. Top right, Terry and Kathy Bowersox. Bottom right, Terry and Kathy Bowersox. And it don't stop, y'all. Looky here. At the top, there was a possible sighting in West Virginia of someone they thought looked very much like Sebastian, right above Bristol, Tennessee. There's another possible sighting at Grandfather's Mountain. And below, another possible sighting at Black Mountain in North Carolina. Just showing you this map here because that is great info to have and where it's located. So I wanted to share that. She did an amazing job on all of this. So right here we go. Start at the top. The top one shows Chris Proudfoot, Melissa, Terry and Kathy. There's a elementary, and then Terry and Kathy, a high school annex, and below it is Honeysuckle Drive. Wow. I believe it was Reverend Donna that mentioned the honeysuckle name. Very close proximity to some people. And here we go. This is it, just above Nashville. You see Nashville, Tennessee there. At the very top, we have Terry and Kathy Bowersox. Right beside the Nashville, Tennessee, there is another Terry and Kathy Bowersox. Right below it, right above Nashville, the word, the center of Nashville. What do you know? Another Terry and Kathy Bowersox. So let's move on, guys, to Pennsylvania. We've talked about the ARC facilities. All those red spots are ARC facilities in Pennsylvania. If you look towards the left, there's a blue pin. Why, what do you know? Terry and Kathy Bowersox. Surrounded by facilities owned by the ARC, the ARC, where the possibility looms that the yellow coat guy was a man that's on the board for the ARC. A real estate attorney. Don't forget that part. Now, let's go back down to Hendersonville. There's BJ's Wholesale Club. She talked about that. They went there that day. Go straight down the left bottom corner. There's Kathy Bowersox. There's the bowling alley, another yellow pin right above the word Hendersonville. And to the right, Terry and Kathy Bowersox. Hang on, guys. We ain't even through yet. How about we go all the way across the United States, just like Katie and Chris did? If you look right there at that yellow pin, there's Ford's Pond. Above the pin is where the small car parked. Below that yellow pin there, orangish colored pin, is a table and bench. Ford's Pond's in the middle. Look up there at the top. Victor Academy in Portland. Let's keep going, shall we? Now here we are back in Tennessee, because on the right side, low middle, you see the Cumberland River. At the bottom, Terry and Kathy Bowersox. Towards the top, Terry and Kathy Bowersox. Here we go. Okay, give you an idea. If you look dead center, you'll see Sevierville. Below it is Pigeon Forge. Okay. We are to the west of Hendersonville. The red pin at the top left says Chris Proudfoot. In the middle, towards the bottom, you'll see Honeysuckle Meadows RV Park in Tennessee. Honeysuckle, remember that. We have Chimney Tops, Great Smoky Mountains. There's this Chris Proudfoot property just sitting up there. Makes you wonder. And let's end it all right here. In Virginia, we have Katie Proudfoot's family, Penny Proudfoot, Penny Proudfoot, and Christopher Proudfoot. Let's go way over to the coastline. Christopher Proudfoot. Guys, that's a whole lot of properties owned by these people. Hello to everybody coming in. I hope y'all are seeing all that we're looking at here. And like I say, kudos to Crime and Justice for finding all this. But I want to remind you of one thing. We looked at a video where this lady took us in her car for a drive down this road. We go right in between two lakes. The road curves and takes a big curve. And as it curved back up, there was a trailer house that sat there. At the time she showed us the property records, it was owned by Danny Guy. Folks, that property no longer is owned by Danny Guy. Keep that in mind. Because we're fixing to talk here about illegal property flipping. And let me just read to you here. And mind you, it's not me making anything up. I didn't ask AI about this. I went to the FBI's website. This was a topic on the FBI website. Illegal property flipping. A con artist buys a property with the intent to resell it at artificially inflated price for a considerable profit, even though they only make minor improvements to it. There's a video transcript that reads, "Hello, I'm a special agent with the FBI. This is a mortgage minute for the average Joe. Today's topic, illegal property flipping schemes. Emphasis, schemes, guys, schemes. Before the recent mortgage meltdown, property flipping was a common way to make money in the real estate business. You would buy a house, fix it up, then sell it for more than you paid for it. That was and is legal. However, there are some illegal property flipping schemes out there. This is how it works. Listen close, friends. Listen very close. A con artist buys a property with the intent to resell it and artificially inflates price for a considerable profit, even though they only make minor improvements to it. Here we go. In order for this scheme to work, the con artist needs to find someone to buy the property from him quickly. So he contacts a friend or acquaintance and tells them that they can make several $1,000s by just applying for a loan to buy the house. This person is known as a straw buyer because they don't intend to live in the house. The con artist also pays an appraiser a fee to submit a false and artificially inflated appraisal report to the bank. The bank then makes the loan to the straw buyer. The con artist will sometimes make one or two of the mortgage payments to the lender. Then, after the con artist pays off the straw buyer and the appraiser, he keeps the rest of the money for himself. It's then up to the bank to foreclose on the property, but it will take a huge loss on a home that was never worth the amount of the loan they made. If anyone asks you to participate in an illegal property flipping scheme, or if you know of one already going on, you are encouraged to contact your local FBI office. Done. Just saying. And so, with that being said, sure makes you wonder with all the properties, because I'm telling you folks, give it a few weeks, those names won't be on any of those properties. They'll be changing it out real soon. Like, I have found a property where Kathy Bowersox bought a property. Months later, Christopher's name is on that property, not Kathy's. Months after that, it changed hands back over to Kathy, the real estate agent. And what do you know? She sold it to someone at inflated, huge pricing. Yes, Angel of Light. It's a way of money laundering. And as we all know, of course, it is the family of Sebastian's stepfather's family that seems to have all the right people in their back pockets. And therefore, this can continue to happen right beneath their eyes, you know? They just look another way. Even Craddock owns 4 homes. His wife's name is now on those homes, so that's how they roll. Before we know it, they'll probably have them sold off, making millions of dollars, because that's what this scheme is all about. Is this what's happening with all of these properties? I can't say because I'm not there and I don't see all the behind the scenes stuff. But I can say this. From what the FBI put out about illegal property flipping, it's very questionable. It makes me go, let's think about this a little harder here, because the dots seem to be adding up. It's crazy. Very crazy. And so I wanted to share all of that with you because we've been talking about it off and on. Hey, Dancing Queen. We've been talking about it off and on for a while now. And yeah, I've been saying there's some kind of racket happening within real estate with this family. And all these properties that we just went over and looked at, how many people do you know own that many properties? I get owning, maybe some acreage and then your home you live in, and then maybe a beach house or something. They live in the mountains. They don't need a mountain house, right? But that many properties, it's a whole lot. Daniel, we'll hopefully soon find out where Sebastian was. We will. And yesterday, I had my phone out for a while because while I'm at the tournament, I'm taking pictures and videos of the girls and everything. And there's our Bobby. Hold on, intermission. Bobby, how you doing, love? Hope you're doing better. I really hope you're doing better. So good to see her coming in tonight with us. I hope she's well. But my phone kind of run out of juice there for a while, and it was starting to get hot. And so I took it out to my car, plugged it in, and oh, Florida girl, hang around for a while. We'll let you know very shortly, I promise. And so it sat out in my car. When I got back into my car last night to get ready to head home, I picked up my phone because it was sitting in my seat there. And Lord have mercy at the messages and the emails, and everybody's telling me, oh my gosh, wait till you hear this. Nerdy Addict had put out a video about, hey, Scotty Too Hottie, good to see you. I'm glad to know you're okay. I hadn't seen you in a while. Good to have you. But Nerdy Attic had put out this video stating that Seth had a burner phone. Sebastian got a hold of it and called a number in Clarksville. Funny how we just got through listening to Seth recall that day that Sebastian went missing, how they asked him to go back to his home, took all of his stuff. And so, yeah, we just went over all that. And because of all that, now we're hearing about Seth's got a burner phone. Okay, will do. I will. Trying to look real quick. Anyways, let me get this all out. Sorry, guys, I get distracted easy. But Seth explained the phone situation to us. Sebastian never had that phone. It was at Seth's home. And day one, the police found it. So they took it with them. They were taken his stuff, he said, I have another phone, and he explains it all. It is. Yes, Scotty, we're fixing to listen to Seth tell us every single word about that. Gina says, Katie should worry about why she had 2 phones at Texas Roadhouse, in my opinion. Boom, girl, drop the mic. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. And we just went over all of this, listened to it all, went over it, heard the story, all the things that Seth had described and told us, and all of that. So hold on, because I'm pulling it up right now. We're going to listen again to Seth tell us what happened that night, or that day, that very, very first day. So let me get this turned up and we're going to listen to it. Well, it seems as if she passed the phone off almost, it seems like, to the guy in the yellow coat, because he sure had that picture of Sebastian in his hand that was taken while she was sitting in that booth. Seth is innocent, Brenda Sue. He is. He 100% is. But before I play this, you know, I want to make sure everybody understands one thing here. And I'm going to read to you from Google. Burner is a mobile app. No. Burner phone. What is the point of a burner phone? A burner phone's main point is to provide temporary, anonymous communication for people who want to keep their personal information private from their main phone or network. They're often used for short-term communication to avoid linking essential online services to the primary number or create secure line for confidential work. Burner phones can be used to limit screen time and digital distraction, offering a break from constant notifications. Do y'all hear that? So, here we go. Listen to Seth's words very, very closely.
We're here.
That afternoon.
Yeah, that afternoon.
So did they ask you to go back to your house with
Yes.
them?
Well, they asked me. Yeah, they asked if they could go back. They asked if they could come to my house and search my house.
So they're walking in and out of Chris and Katie's house, and this is where I'm a little confused. They're walking in and out of Chris and Katie's house. They're not ransacking it. They're not tearing anything up. They're not going crazy, correct?
They didn't even take their electronics.
So then they come to your house and completely different MO.
Yes.
What do you make of that, Josh?
I mean, unless they thought that he had made his way there in the middle of the night somehow. I mean, if it takes an hour and 15 minutes to drive there in the middle of the night barefoot, would probably, I mean, I don't know, unless they suspected something, but I don't. When you told them, did you tell them specifically? Did you say to them, "I have nothing to hide"?
Yeah.
And what was their response to that?
Okay.
And that was it.
That was it.
And so they were just asking your permission. Can we search your house? Can we take this without, without warrants and stuff? And obviously you agreed to everything, and received most of that stuff back, I believe. But
In time.
Here's the thing that it's like they left Sebastian's PS4 in his room. They never once took it. Oh, let me rephrase that. They took the electronics out of my house. They didn't take Sebastian's laptop. That's still on my kitchen table.
Never?
Never. They never took his laptop. Still on my kitchen table. Right where he left it. 'Cause I want things to still be. But he left them.
Deep breath, buddy.
They came into his room. They took his PlayStation. They took his Switch. They took the tablet that he never even used. He used the laptop more than he used that tablet. And yet they left the laptop on the kitchen table. They took my PlayStation. They wanted nothing to do with my laptop. I mean, it's just like the things that they took. And like literally 2 weeks went by and I'm like, am I going to get this stuff back? You said that you guys would only have it for a couple days. I don't know about other people, but I use my PlayStation if I'm watching TV. All my streaming services run through my PlayStation. I have a smart TV, but it's an old smart TV. Like Netflix doesn't even work on it anymore. I got that notification probably like 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, that's pretty standard to use your console for that stuff.
Right.
So it's like,
Okay, I'm going to pause it here for a second because I want to do all this with fair use. I need to put my banner up as well. And I just found this spot right before I went live. So I will go back, guys, and put Seth's link in the description as well. So that way we make sure we give him all the credit, because this is on a live that he did about a year ago. And if you notice, they took Seth's phone. They took his tablet, Sebastian's tablet, that Seth is going to tell us he didn't ever get on it. But they didn't take the laptop of Sebastian nor the laptop of Seth. Tina girl, 100%. I want to give you a little commentary before we get too far into this, because Seth had been there since early that morning on day one. Right as soon as he got off work, he takes off. It takes him a little over an hour to get there. He got there, in and out of that house all morning long, asking them if they've gotten anything new, goes back out, gets in his car, drives around, calls Sebastian's name. Meanwhile, Katie and her mother-in-law and her sister-in-law and father-in-law was all sitting there talking about what kind of jewelry that woman wanted her baby boy to buy her on their next vacation. They weren't searching. At no point did they search that morning. Katie drove like a bat out of hell down the street behind her, windows up and everything. Drove like a bat out of hell through the front of their school where Sebastian attended, never got out, didn't holler out the window because her windows were all rolled up. But she had a minute to stop at Worsham's and do some sort of exchange with her mother-in-law. She could have waited till the mother-in-law got to her house early that morning, right? So what was so necessary to be exchanged without any eyes looking? Just wondering. But to remind you, Seth had been there that morning, in and out, asking questions, talking to law enforcement all around. They just, nothing yet, nothing yet. And it wasn't until Mr. Chris arrived at 1008 Stafford Court, was inside the home, when Seth came back to ask on the next update, is there anything yet? And after Mr. Chris was there, law enforcement became very invested in Seth. Sebastian went missing from that home, but they didn't take their electronics, all their things. They become center focused on Seth. Quite the coincidence, wouldn't you say? He had been there all morning, not a problem, no issues, not even asked any questions. Nothing. Until after Mr. Chris arrived. And all of a sudden, they're zoned in on Seth. Yep. Let's listen. We're going to listen some more. So keep that context in your mind. It wasn't until after Mr. Chris came in that he became a focus. Seth became the focus. Was that part of the script? Just asking.
You took all this stuff, but you didn't take anything out of his room at his mom's house. His Switch was still on the floor when I was there. The PlayStation was still there. The next day, that's when they took our phones. And then they complained about the fact that Chris gave them a phone, Katie gave them a phone, I gave them my only working phone. The other phone that I had no service, just Wi-Fi connection. And I use it so that I can listen to music while I sleep.
What was that? Let's listen real close to what he just said, okay? He uses that phone to listen to music while he sleeps. Let's keep going.
That's just what I do for background. And then they turn around. They had my phone for almost 12 hours to download it. I use my phone for everything, It's not like they had my phone long enough that my mom and dad didn't know what happened. That my friends and stuff were calling Clarksville PD to do well care checks on me because they didn't know what happened. And it's like, they asked for my phone. I wasn't even able to use it to send any messages to people to let them know, hey, law enforcement has my phone. Don't be worried if I don't answer it.
But you were willing to let them do whatever they wanted to do and take however long they wanted to take, because in that moment you knew you had nothing to do with it. But in that moment you were thinking about, hey, I want to get myself cleared so we can move forward. Correct?
Correct. I don't want them wasting time looking at me when they need to find my son.
Those are the words of a parent who is desperate to find his child. Hurry up and get me over and done with so we can go find him now. He needs to be found very soon. Very soon.
Is that what you felt like? You felt that they were looking at you?
After they came to my house and they trashed my house the way they did, yeah. Yeah. When they took my electronics and they didn't touch Chris or Katie's electronics for over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. They didn't touch any of their electronics except for their phones.
Now, day one, they're taking Seth's stuff, right? His Xbox that was used to watch TV on. Thank you, Crime and Justice, for coming in. You have a good night, sweetie. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the good work you're doing over there. I hope you didn't mind me showing those maps. I do encourage everybody to go watch her live. She shows all kinds of stuff, more than what I just showed. So definitely go check it out. Okay, guys? It is definitely worth the time. Good night, darling. So here we go. First day. Mr. Chris gets home. Guys, hold on just a moment, okay? Okay, sorry about that, guys. Had to take care of something real quick. So keep in mind, Katie and Chris did not get their electronics. The place where he went missing from, nothing was collected for 2 weeks. Let's listen some more.
They didn't take Sebastian's PlayStation. They didn't take the Switch. None of that stuff. They just got
How do you know that?
because I called up Chris and I said, Chris, they still have all of my stuff. I can't even watch the news. I can't do anything. I can't relax in my house. I can't sit down and watch a movie. And he was like, well, you can come pick up Sebastian's PlayStation. Well, what do you still have this stuff? Yeah, we have all of our stuff. You can come pick up his stuff.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, I go to Chris's house that morning. And this is 2 weeks later, and he's like, "I can't give it to you. My account has been hacked, and somebody has bought in games like Minecraft and stuff like that on this account." This is how I found out that they had never collected any of the electronics at that house. That means that it was more than 2 weeks before Katie even turned in the dash cam off of her vehicle. That tells me that they were suspecting me of having my son before they were even investigating the Proudfoots. They didn't do shit.
They asked you for an alibi,
Told them I was at work.
but did they ask you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I've been at work for the last 12 hours. I was at work starting on camera at about 6 o'clock when I pulled into the garage until I left Monday morning after 7 o'clock.
Did they tell you that they were going to verify that?
Yep. And I
Did
told
they
them,
tell
"Go
you
ahead."
if they ever did verify that?
They did verify that.
They told you that they did.
Yep. My work let me know that they verified it as well.
There you go.
And how would that be verified? Says we know that there was time card stamps that were issued that your attorney got, but there's also, they would also go directly to the cameras showing that you were on pod and that you never left that area, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
The way Davidson County works is that there's a, it's not the Freedom of Information Act, but you can request information because I'm a civil servant, which means I really don't have very much privacy when it comes to me being employed.
And there would be even less hoops to jump through law enforcement to law enforcement, correct?
Correct. They would, somebody would ask, they'd come in, and they would show them the video.
Gotcha.
So this is this still the first day?
That they asked this information where I was.
No, when they went through your house.
Yes, day one that they went through my house.
So you went back with them to your house from Chris and Katie's. And
Yes.
How long did that whole ordeal take?
They were here for about an hour and a half.
And then did you head back?
No, they told me to stay here.
So they came to his house, followed him to his house, did all the things, and then told him to stay there. His son's missing over in Hendersonville, but they told him to stay there at his home. They took his phone. He had no communication at all. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? It's crazy. Kathy, thank you so much for the super sticker there. I appreciate you more than you know. That is amazing. Thank you for all your support and always being here for us. Oh, love you so much. Thank you for that. So, yeah, could you imagine sitting there and not being able to get any contact whatsoever to hopefully say, hey, we've got him, he's safe? No, Seth had to just sit there for a long time. Cooper, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. And let's get you a little welcome to the South.
Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get a payment if welcome to the South.
Oh, goodness. Thank you, Cooper, so much. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Y'all, I'm gonna skin my son alive when he comes home, y'all. He's sitting here. He sent me a text. He's messing with me. I heard there was an airplane that crashed in Fort Worth, Dallas area there. And my son was flying home today. So I sent a message to my daughter-in-law to find out where he was flying home into. And she told me Houston. I was like, okay. And I told her why I was asking. She said he's already landed. He's on his way home. It's like, okay. So he thought he would be smart. And when I put you on pause a while ago, I got this text message that says, hi, this is authorities. Is this Jared's mom? I was like, ho. I was like, you are not funny, son. So he told me that they flew over the Dallas area as he was coming in, and that there was all that smoke and everything. Everybody was talking about it. So it had just happened when he went over it. But yeah, I just chewed him out. I told him I never want that ever again. He said, I couldn't not mess with you, Mom. Yeah, Jen, he did. I was like, I don't ever want that phone call ever again. He said, it was a text, Mom. It's all good. It's like, no, no. And had I not known he had already landed and was safe, I'd have probably ended my life and fell apart. Oh, that's why I put y'all on hold for a minute. I was just like, oh, no, 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 no. SL, thank you so much for the super sticker, darling. You are so sweet and kind. And thank you for everything you're doing. And I will be getting in touch with you after my live, okay? Keep doing all your good work that you're doing. Y'all wouldn't believe all the people that are doing so much behind the scenes for this young man. Sebastian is so lucky to have all of y'all on his side. Yes, Betty, it did, because I have received that phone call. That phone call no parent ever wants. I have gotten that phone call. He didn't realize what he was doing. He was just trying to be funny with me. And he's sitting here, all these little noises you hear and him apologizing. I love you, Mama. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about that. And all these things. So I'm going to give him the cold shoulder for a little while, make him feel bad. Oh, thank you, Veronica. I know. He didn't realize what he did to me. I told him my heart skipped. I couldn't speak for a minute. But he said, we flew over. He said, I was wondering what the smoke was in the air that they flew through. So, yeah, he didn't even know what had happened until my daughter-in-law told him. So, anyways, he's safe. I don't care about any of it now. He's good. So, oh no, got a secret. She said her son fell off a ladder at work. Go take care of that boy. We'll be praying everything's well for him. So yeah, guys, let's listen to some more. We got about 6 more minutes. And this last part that we're going to hear here, he's going to talk about that extra phone. Okay? So here we go.
To stay at your home?
Yes.
Did they give you a reason why?
No.
So that is that the end of day one?
Yeah. Except for several phone calls that I was making, find out if there was any update, any information, anything going on.
So they told you not to go back to Chris and Katie's.
They told me not to go back that day.
The next day you went back?
Yes, I did.
And that's when you started the day after day getting in the woods, correct?
First of all, we were again told not to be going through the woods, but it was driving around every road, screaming for Sebastian's and hollering his name. I would literally leave here. I left here at like 4:00 in the morning, and I was down there by 5:15 before the sun came up. We'd go to Chris and Katie's house, check in with law enforcement. By then they had and I was going to the command center that they had set up. So I was going there, checking in, seeing, because they were no longer there were detectives at the house, but all the search crews were at the command center.
So during that time, would they pull you aside and say, Seth, this is what we've got going. this is where we're at. This is what we've learned. We just wanted to keep you in the loop as the father. Was there any of that?
No.
No, it doesn't sound like it would be, especially if they were searching his house the first day. I mean, they were looking at him as a potential suspect, which, by the way,
It's normal.
I have no problem with. I mean,
Right.
nor should anybody. But I mean, it should go both ways.
It's normal.
Yeah, but
But I didn't see it happening to them.
right. No, that's where it gets odd.
Yeah, and I mean, in the spirit of what Josh said, going both ways, I mean, you would at least think that they would be as critical of the last person seen with him.
Especially
I saw them trusting them more than them trusting me.
right.
Now, folks, come on. He had an alibi. He was at work on camera. But of course, the other side has spun it all around that he paid someone to do it. The man was barely making enough money to even pay his bills. How's he going to pay somebody that kind of money to do that? He didn't have a mommy like Chris has a mommy. Not like that kind of mommy. And so, yeah, Patty, right from the beginning. And I think there are good cops that know, but they're a little concerned about those that are not good cops. And possibly could be those that are leaking things out, in my opinion, of course. Yeah, could you imagine, Tina girl, searching and not able to find anything, like not a damn single thing? Not at all. Isn't that something? I know, Veronica, he's got the best alibi you could ever have. He's locked up in a facility. He was seen on camera coming in the night before, worked all night long, and it was a little after 7 when he's seen on camera leaving. No time in between there did he ever get seen walking out of that facility. There you go, Sandy. I like it here. We are not distracted by Katie and Chris. Yeah, the two that don't have alibis. I don't care what Mr. Chris wants to tell everybody. There's no proof to back it up that he was in a crane at 5:30 in the morning, because the people he worked with has already told us they didn't start work until much later. Let's remind ourselves about Mr. Chris's alibi. He says here, I requested he be removed from the crane by 10 or 11 a.m. He was replaced and stormed off the job site. We start work at 7 a.m. The cops had already been notified. He had already had his phone call with KK while she's driving around like a bat out of hell, not looking for her child, just to be seen on camera. Here's another one by the same friend. I'm working at St. Jude. CP operated the crane for us February 26th. I had issues with his performance and his attitude and demeanor all morning. So bad that I requested for him to be removed. That's Mr. Chris's alibi. We started work at 7 a.m. He wasn't in the crane at 5:30. He's been caught so many times lying. He has no alibi, guys. Not until 7 a.m. till 11 a.m. while he was at work. Actually, the truth, KK don't got an alibi because she was the only one in the house that morning. She got home from Texas Roadhouse. Her alibi was Sebastian, but guess what? He's not here anywhere, nowhere to be found. She don't have an alibi. Right, Estelle? Boom. I agree. Our opinion, because he was up all night and that wore him out. And then he had to drive 3 hours to get to work on time. If he was there at that 3:10 a.m. flashlight video time, that light video that we saw, if he was there at that time, guys, you count it up, he would have had to been taken away from there, driven to wherever his vehicle was at, get in his truck, take off. He would have gotten to work just prior to 7 o'clock. Because it'd be close to, 3:30-ish by the time he starts heading out. Takes a little over 3 hours. That's 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. Give him another 15 to 20 minutes. He'd be there in time to work at 7 o'clock. Like we're told right here. We start work at 7 a.m. Mr. Chris didn't even have an alibi. And yet they try to put it all off over here on Seth. All the stuff they're trying to push over here onto Seth. Don't look at us over here. Don't look at our house. Don't look at our non-alibis. Right? Don't. Go over there and look at Seth. Here you go. As I put it out, there's a noise ordinance. You cannot but start work before then. Those things are loud. That equipment is loud. There's hospitals right there. Patients that need rest. They're sleeping. They can't start work at 5:30 in the morning. It's not possible. Oh, yeah. There was some threats going on with him as well. I know, right? He didn't even want us to talk about his truck because his truck pinged. Let's finish up here. We got 3 minutes where Seth is going to tell us what type of extra phone he has and how he came about getting it. Let's finish this up.
Even though my shit's verified, and I apologize because I know that I have used some foul language, and I know a lot of Sebastian's army doesn't appreciate it, but I'm sorry.
You're doing fine. So do because I've seen the neighborhood. It's an upscale neighborhood with very nice homes. Typically, I know, people say, well, never judge a book by its cover, and stereotypes and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's how law enforcement approaches stuff or not, but it's a nice neighborhood, and I think that maybe they think, that kind of stuff, kidnappings and stuff don't always happen in those kind of neighborhoods. And
Give me 1 moment. I'll be right back.
Yeah. And so maybe, I don't know. I mean, it does seem like the two were getting treated much different, Tony. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of seems like to me, and again, you know more about this, and I'm asking a lot of these questions. I want Seth to be able to tell his story, but I also want to know, because since you and I first met, I've not been one that wanted to understand all of the investigative pieces. There's been a couple questions, and you went into great detail with me. I asked you, I said, tell me about the phones. They took a phone, they didn't take a phone. You had a phone, one phone was turned on, one phone was not turned on.
I have a phone that has active service. I had another phone because when I switched companies, the phone that I had, the company that I switched to, it wouldn't operate on their system. So I had to buy a new phone. So I bought a new phone. Well, I keep my old phone because obviously it's still a good phone and I have Wi-Fi hooked up to it. So, I can watch YouTube or listen to the music on it or anything else and not be, if a phone call comes in, my stuff's not interrupted. And when I have Sebastian here, I'll be listening to stories like creepypastas and stuff like that. And me and Sebastian listen to that sort of stuff while we're cooking dinner or whatnot. I don't like to be interrupted from watching something because the phone rings.
Right. Well, and so essentially what you had is you had one phone that you could connect to the internet, and you had another phone that had cell service, correct?
Yes.
And I know how you go to sleep. How do you go to sleep?
I put on a creepypasta and I lay in bed until I pass out.
So there you have it, guys. There is no burner phone. There is no cell carrier to that phone. It is used for music and podcasts and things like that. We just played that last week. We just listened to all of that last week. Then it gets put out. There's a burner phone and it has been looked into. And it made a call to Clarksville. If you recall, it has been stated many times by Katie and by Chris. If Sebastian ever had anything he was involved in, Seth was in the front row. It's been stated by Katie and Chris what a great father Seth is. But it's never been stated what a great mother and stepfather Katie and Chris are. Right, Laura? Yes, exactly. Another distraction. 100%, because you see, Seth's doing nothing over here wrong. He's doing what every parent would do in the same situation. They doesn't know where their child is at. And yet, because we're calling out all the things the mother and stepfather are doing, they don't like the heat. Put some crap over here on Seth. Get the eyes to go back that direction. More distraction, because stuff is being said. People are saying how they feel and what they see. And it's not good for KK and Christopher. Poor little peoples. They looking pretty bad these days. And that's how that works, you know. I don't remember which one it was, but a live not too long ago, I made the comment, just like when they told Seth, you got to take him, and Seth said, let me start getting him enrolled in school so we can make this an easy transition for him. Let's do what's best for him to get him here. And then they came along and said, no, it's all good. And then they come back and say, hey, wait a minute, we're going to have to put him in a home, a facility. Well, Seth thought, okay, a summer program, is that what we're doing? Just to help him get a little extra help and, help him to get it, some of the help that he actually needs. Seth's the one that looked into the place that they wanted to send him to and found out that 6 people had died fairly recently in that facility. And Seth said, this ain't good enough for my child. We're not sending him there. And they said, well, find a place. So what happens? Seth, like every good parent, contacts someone and says, hey, look, this is what we're thinking as parents. We're thinking he needs to get a little extra help, that they feel this is a necessary thing to do. But I want to make sure he's put somewhere that's going to help him, not hinder him. So, will you help me? That person emailed Seth, gave him 3 places that were very credible, that could help a lot and do good for Sebastian, because that's all Seth wanted, was what was good for his son. Well, then they decided, we'll just wait until you can take him. Then the CPS incident happened on January 28th. On the 29th, the Superior Court is looking into all the files, all of them. "26, 7, 8, 28 days later, Sebastian goes missing. A week prior to Christopher going to court for his daughter's custody. And then in that meantime, Mr. Chris has all of those CPS records sealed. Didn't want nobody to get a hold of them, see what was in there, because that wouldn't be good for his custody hearing. He put off the custody hearing for another date. Seth, in the meantime, hires a lawyer, because that's what he had to have to get the records unsealed, because Seth is a biological father and can prove he's been at every teacher's meeting, all the things. He's part of his son's life. Unlike what Katie told them. So he gets the CPS records, and his statement is, it's stuff your worst nightmares are made up of. It would make you have nightmares if you read all that is in this report. It also had his psychology reports, the person that Sebastian met with once a month. All of his notes about what Sebastian said about living in that home with Katie and Chris. Things don't go good in the favor of Katie and Chris. So what do? They sit Clue and Stephen Crabtree down, and he tells everybody on a live that he did. Him and Clue sat on the couch with Katie and Chris, and they gave them the email, only the email from Seth, saying, here's 3 good schools to put him in. They take that and turn it into something bad, as if it's Seth's idea. Because Katie and Chris don't tell the whole story, the whole truth. That's how they work. And now that the heat's coming back up, let's create some more drama, because we just played where they heard Seth had another phone. Let's create something bad here and make people go on Seth again. Well, guess what? It's not happening because we don't believe them anymore. We've proven the lies over and over and over, and the things they say and put out are absolutely ridiculous. Anybody that listens to that mess that's being spewed over there and believes it are in for a very rude awakening when the truth is actually told. Bobby, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Friends, if y'all were the lucky ones that received a membership, please tell Bobby thank you so much, because that was so gracious of her. Thank you so much, Bobby. And to our new members, welcome to the South, y'all.
Welcome. Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get a name and get down? Welcome to the South.
Thank you, Bobby. We love you. You take care of yourself, sister. You get better. We need you healthy so we can continue our work with Sebastian and you be right here with us. You take extra good care of yourself. We love you. Thank you for that. That was so sweet. Happy almost Monday, Sandy. Yes, he didn't have a burner phone. Never bought one for Sebastian either. He came into the chat last night and said those words. No, and he just explained to us what that other phone was. When he switched carriers, they wouldn't do his phone that he actually had from the other carrier he used. So he had to get a new phone. He kept that phone. They hooked it up to his Wi-Fi. They listened to podcasts together. He listened to music or podcasts when he went to sleep. That's all it was. But let's use it, twist it, and make Seth look bad. Typical KK and Mr. Chris fashion there. Maui, you're probably right. A distraction away from Pigfest activities. Yep. Anything and everything they can do to take the eyes off of them. Oh, yeah, they did, Gina, because there for a while, Mommy took KK's phone away from her because, Mr. Chris was about ready to bolt. That family was done with Sebastian. He couldn't go back to his own home because of that boy. I could hear the words now. Hi, Jackie T. Welcome, welcome. And welcome to everybody that's come in. Thank you all for being here and listening. I don't want to put anything out there without having something to back it up. And Seth said this a year ago about this phone. It didn't have cellular service. He didn't make calls from it. Sebastian didn't have it. They just used it to listen to things on and not have to get interrupted by a phone call or a text message and things like that. We all know how that goes. We all know. But they got to turn everything so bad. So bad. Because things aren't looking so good for them. That's all it boils down to, folks. I mean, you can put it out however you want to, but it doesn't mean what they're saying is the truth. They create something. We listened as Jay played the video of Seth outside of Sumner County Sheriff's Office. They sat there and made fun of his weight. They talked about how bad of a person he was. They said all the hate and evil things a person can say about another person. And all he was a father out there wanting another agency to come in and help and find his son. Friends, I don't like talking about other creators. I know everyone has their own opinion, but when you intentionally make fun of someone, say things that are not true, talk about the way they look or the way they act or talk or anything, like just straight up meanness. Folks, that's internet bullying right there at its finest. And they all do it so well. Now, I want to remind everybody, oh, Kelly, that day will come. And you know what? I'm not going to be anywhere close to to anyone that wants to say, oh, we told you so. But I will be that person that says, we said all of this all along. We've been trying to get this out there, this truth out there. This is what we've been talking about. It won't be directed at them. And TJ says, I'll tell you. Everybody's saying, I'm going to be that person. I'll be that one. I tell you, they're not worth our time. That's the problem. It's not worth our time. Nick the Hat. Oh, Rita, you're so sweet. Looky here. She says, Lolly and all, I'm here. Thank you for keeping life honest. It means a lot. I have touched the like button. Rita, we love you here. We love you being here with us. You're part of helping each and every one of you. Oh, Brenda, that's kind of what I'm waiting for. We're going to be having us a perp walk party. And I sure as heck hope that there will be a live stream of it somewhere. So, anyways. But speaking of other people on YouTube, speaking of the property flipping scheme, stop and think about money being passed every which way on the other side. What channel do you ever go to where a person in your chat that has lunch with Katie and Chris, lunch with KK, and all the things, just happens to send a $5,000 super chat? You don't see that anywhere. You don't see up in the thousands. Makes it kind of obvious when it's only certain creators spewing hate that get that kind of money being passed around here and there. They got their own little money thing happening too, you know? Let's see, how can we say it? Well, we'll just say for all those who like to eat barbecue, you would understand. And so, yeah, Jen, it's hard, man. That's it, Scotty. There you go. If nothing bad is in those CPS reports, why have them sealed, Christopher? Huh? Why? KK, if you have nothing to hide, why is it that you hired a lawyer on the pretense of pleading the fifth? Because you didn't want to incriminate yourself. I mean, it goes for both of them. Their actions speak way louder than any of the words they want to put out. But you know, all things in the dark do come to the light, right? We've been looking at it. We've been seeing it over and over and over again. People were there that night. There were people in that 3 a.m. video. Several people. People that didn't want anybody to see anything. So what do? They did all that they can do with all the smoke and everything just to keep themselves hidden. Let's see here. You know, kind of like we saw what KK wore that day, right? We saw her in that navy blue jacket, unzipped a little ways, right? Her hair's in a ponytail. All the things. How about that 3 a.m.? I wonder what we could see there. I wonder who might be wearing something dark, unzipped, with her hair in a ponytail. Don't know if y'all see this head here, this little outfit here with the dark V and all the way down. There's her legs. I see KK all day, every day. Those, I'm telling you guys, the things in the dark, they come to light. They do, they do. We've already seen Mr. Chris's face plain as day, wearing his ball cap. I am working on the emblem on that ball cap as we speak. Yeah. Inside that house, huh? You know, it's convenient that that night their front porch light was not on. Conveniently, the floodlights above their garage were not on that night. Conveniently, all the places they had cameras around their home only had little screw holes, but no cameras. All the things. All those things. We know Katie was trained and qualified in communications in the Navy. She knows all about jammers and jamming other systems. And, when you have somebody like her that's qualified, and you have, well, her partner, her hubby, that work beside her in the same thing, where you got two qualified individuals with communications. Mob Crew shows a video as they're leaving Texas Roadhouse, getting in the car. KK starts the car, reaches down, picks something up, like an earbud, and sticks it in her ear. She didn't want that communication to be heard over her speaker in her car. There had to have been another type of communication happening. And it was only being heard in her ear. It was not being heard by Sebastian. Because if he would have known what was about to come for him, what was about to go down pertaining to him, he probably would have opened that door and jumped out of that car on the freeway. Oh, Roberta, those are sweet words. I hope we can help. That's all I want. Thank you, Roberta. That's sweet. That's all we want. We just want to get the truth out there. We hope somebody's listening. We're reaching out every chance we can. That's all we want is good for Sebastian. And, I put it up while they were talking earlier, but I do want to read it out loud for some people who can't read for themselves and understand that myself, along with moderators, subscribers, and anyone in chat, express their opinions. We on this channel, we present speculation, possibilities, and show things found for everyone to decide for themselves what opinion they have. We're here for helpful purposes only. We're not here for hate, for drama, or anything negative. Please respect all opinions. And as I always say, my content is not to be used in a negative way at any time. That one goes particularly to a no sense type of person that likes to play my videos just to say how much she hates me. She hates my voice. She hates everything about me. Well, bless her little heart. She don't gotta listen and don't use my videos. So, I know I long for the truth to come out. And we continue to talk about all the things. Every time you go back and re-listen, knowing what you know now, listening to things they said at the very, very beginning, it's amazing. Thank you, Florida girl. It's amazing to me how listening to the very first interview they did, within the first 3 minutes, it's asked for Katie to tell basically what happened that night. And KK tells us she falls asleep on the couch around 10. Right around 10 o'clock. Mr. Chris comes on top of her and says, to make everything crystal clear, I was on the phone with the mother. We talked for a good long time. And she was starting to fall asleep. That was, mind you, around midnight. Folks, the very first time they ever spoke, within the first 3 minutes, any timeline that they could ever have set from the beginning was completely destroyed in the first 3 minutes. At the time, everybody's just listening to what they're saying, just trying to soak it all in because we hadn't heard from anything. No one pertaining to Sebastian other than the news. And it wasn't until just a little while back, a couple of months ago, I heard it and realized the timeline was destroyed within 3 minutes of them talking and telling us exactly what happened. Let me see. I made a clip of that. Let me see if I can find that, because man, their timeline was 100% just blown out of the water. And we had overlooked it all this time. We thought they went, midnight. Midnight was the important time. That's when KK goes to bed. Their story changes so many times that after that we started catching on. Something around here, something's not correct. And so we continue to go and go over it and think about it and what do we got here and all the things. So let me share this because I want all of you to hear their words. And mind you, this is the very first 3 minutes and 46 seconds of the very first time they were on Duchess and told their story. This is in my shorts videos that I've put out. And let's pull this up.
Locked and gone.
You were out of town at work,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you were not even home.
Correct, ma'am.
And Mom, you fell asleep on the couch about 10 o'clock, but you said that Sebastian went to bed at 9 p.m. And then you got up off the couch and you went to bed, and you said that was around midnight. And nothing was unusual at that point. Everything seemed okay.
There's actually a piece of, so to make something very crystal clear, so that way there's transparency across the board. Me and the mom were on the phone at 9:43 or 9:46 in the evening. We stayed on the phone for quite some time. The call logs have been verified by all the police departments, TBI included. We stayed on the phone. It was very lengthy. Mom did slightly start falling asleep while she was on the couch. I had said, hey, you need to wake up, put the dogs up, go to bed. Now, mind you, that was right around midnight, just before midnight or right around midnight.
Their words, folks, not mine. Their words. Mom said she went to sleep around midnight and she woke up and went on to get in her bed at midnight, Duchess says. And Katie comes back with midnight. Midnight is the important timeline. That's their timeline. Midnight. But she said she fell asleep at around 10 on the couch. And Mr. Chris came in to make things crystal clear. Mom started falling asleep and he told her, get up, go to bed. Now, mind you, that was around midnight. 3 minutes, guys. The very first time they ever speak, 3 minutes. And it was completely a shattered timeline. He flipped it. He changed it. Their words, not mine. I'm not making it up. You can hear it crystal clear within the first 3 minutes and 46 seconds of Duchess' very first interview. Sebastian deserves better. He deserved better when all those CPS cases were happening. He deserved better when neighbors said that, they honestly believed that child was sleeping on a mattress in the garage. KK comes back and says, the dogs didn't even bark when he would come in to get snacks because he would shush them and they knew him. If he was already in the house, the dogs wouldn't think nothing of him going in there in the kitchen, right? To get some snacks. But he came in and got snacks. Is that a confirmation that he was sleeping in the garage and he would sneak in the house to get snacks? Folks, it's my opinion, but I say let them keep talking. The more they say, the more we catch. But I think that's why they're keeping their mouths shut. Unless Mr. Chris is drinking quite a bit, feeling quite hefty and funny and all the things and making fun of Seth because, let's put all the eyes over here on Seth. Keep them off of us is what they play. It's a game they play. Exactly. His eyes. If Sebastian was already in the house, how can he come in the house? Those were her words, not mine. I've often wondered time and time again, about us over here, and we keep calling it out. And there was one time where someone came in chat and said, I drove by your house today, which is quite hilarious because nobody just drives by. There ain't nowhere to go. And you don't even find the road to our house. It's not very findable. Even people in our town don't realize this road even exists. However, we use their words. They can't get pissed at us. And if they do, I'm going to throw it back on them. Because I'm not making this crap up. It's Katie and Chris's words that we go by. Right? Retha says a goat might get them, Lolly. We're going to turn the goats loose on you. Tell you what, if I ever thought there was anything suspicious pulling up in our area here, this property that my son owns, trust me, they wouldn't make it very far. They would never see it. Never see it coming. Never see it coming. You see, it's my son's property, and he's the one that has certification and awards and all kinds of things for his sharpshooting. It's the reason he became a law enforcement officer and went on to be employed by the state of Texas. And he raises his daughters to be well equipped to handle themselves, his wife, and me as well. So, yeah. And when you live in a small town and you have a son that's connected in law enforcement and all the things, you actually have those phone numbers on your phone of those in our town. Wouldn't take but just a call. Veronica, I'm not worried. I really am not. I mean, anybody wants to come after me for what I say, I'll just play it back. This is where every word that I said, here's where it came from. So listen up, Katie and Chris. Thank you for talking, y'all, because I got every word. Every word. And it's, yeah, it's, I was just fixing to say, SI, it's only when there seems to be a little, liquid involved that they feel happy and jolly. And Mr. Chris goes to talking. It's when he makes fun of people and when he starts using the most disgusting words towards a woman he has never met in his entire life, never laid eyes on her, but feels so confident to say the ugliest, nastiest things towards her. It was gross. I would give anything, guys, anything to actually be proven wrong. Sling Blade of Sumner County. There you go, Gina. That's hilarious. I would be so happy to be proven wrong, that all the things that I'm seeing, all the things I'm finding, all of the research that's been done, I would love for it to be proven wrong, because that would mean there's a whole lot of hope for Sebastian. But when you're finding all the things we're finding, it makes my heart sad. Exactly. Teresa says my granny would have filled his mouth with soap with that nasty talk. Exactly. Lord, I remember those days. Oh, I remember those days. I don't want to talk about parents that could possibly have harmed that sweet boy. It's just not what I live for. But if it's possible, Rita, at this point, anything is possible, because there's been nothing to prove anything at this point. I do believe some of what I'm seeing, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about that. And it's time for something to actually happen, folks. And let me explain why I'm saying that. It needs to be done because somebody's going to end up getting hurt with all these lies that are being said and spread and talked about and all the things. Hi, Margaret. All of the bad and everything. Ooh, SL. She got to go. She got her football game fixing to happen. Love you, SL. Thank you for being here. And like I said, I'm going to reach out to you here in just a little bit, okay? But guys, we have to call it out for like everything we're seeing. Everything we're seeing. We got to call it for what it is. We would be doing injustice to Sebastian if we did not do it. We would not be the people that are here for Sebastian if we didn't bring out the words that are being said in this young man's case. I would be highly disappointed in myself if I didn't call it out. It needs to be talked about it. All the things that led up to that dreadful night that he drove away from Texas Roadhouse. That night when his life changed forever. That night that his mother, I'm afraid, knew exactly what was waiting for him. And instead of getting on that interstate and driving and not looking back, she drove him straight to that home. A lot of people are starting to think possibly that he was handed off and put in another car and all the things. And the vehicles that are talked about and possibly the ones that might have took him somewhere, I believe that very well could be a possibility. But it's just my opinion that whoever was anywhere around to get Sebastian into their vehicle ended up on Stafford Court with Sebastian. Maybe it was Kellen Drive, the house directly behind them, possibly, and that white shed back there where Sebastian ended up. Maybe he didn't even make it in his house. I don't know. Maybe it was the person that we saw at Texas Roadhouse in the video of the three men that were walking. The one man with the black hoodie that zipped up, wearing the black pants, the black shoes with the white soles. Maybe that's who took out the trash. Hi, Shane. How you doing? Maybe he's the person that took out the trash. Maybe he could imitate Sebastian's run back to the house. We saw what Sebastian wore, what he arrived home in. Should he have arrived home, why would he go change his whole outfit real fast just to take out the trash? You know, just wondering. Christy, they show him supposedly running back to his home and going into the garage. Supposedly. I mean, there are so many possibilities to this whole entire story that when it all comes out, there's going to be a whole lot of clarification when it comes to what actually happened. And I cannot wait. All the possibilities that we talk about. You know, I agree, Christy. I would love to see that video. Seth said it is not clear enough to confirm it was Sebastian. It's a dark figure taking the trash out. You couldn't even see the face. So, you know, here we go with speculation, because the confirmation that KK says they have. Now, mind you, this is the same woman that says, you know, they've been cleared, and her husband did take a polygraph and cleared it. Yeah, okay. But she says that's the evidence. There is evidence. He's on camera taking the trash out, but nobody can see who it is. The FBI identified Sebastian by his run back to the house. So how does FBI know what he ran like before that Texas Roadhouse video happened, or that trash video happened? That's my question. How did they know how he ran? They didn't even know who Sebastian was, right? Prior to him going missing. So I don't buy that. The FBI has cleared that video as it being Sebastian by watching him run. All we have is Katie and Chris making fun of the way Sebastian ran. They made fun of the way he ate. They made fun of the everything about him. So how are we going to believe them? Mr. Chris had his alibi, right? He was in a crane at 5:30. Well, that got busted all to hell when the person that was his supervisor on the job said, we don't start work till 7. And he was real pissy. And I had to send his ass home. Remove him from the job site that Mr. Chris never went back to. But hey, here we sit every day talking about all the things that we can, because we want the truth, and we want the truth for Sebastian. And that's what brings us all together here. We're not here to clear up Katie and Chris. We're not here to clear up Seth. Seth is the one person that had himself cleared. But remember, all the stuff towards Seth didn't happen until Mr. Chris came home that day. And then all the people were looking at Seth conveniently after Christopher Proudfoot made it home. Prior to that, they didn't pay Seth no attention. He was looking for a son like all parents would do, right? They didn't think anything of it that his mother was sitting there talking to her mother-in-law, listening to what kind of jewelry she wanted her son to buy her on their next vacation, 8 days later. Folks, when you start connecting all the dots, the picture gets real clear. Hey, Pink Warrior. And that's all we can do is call out all the things that are proven facts. And it's not my fault. It's not your fault that Katie and Chris look so bad. It's their fault. Daniel, cheer up, buddy. You're still breathing air. Life sucks at times, but it will get better. It will. Hang in there. Right, SI. Exactly. Exactly. Look at here. You come from the roadhouse with shoes on. He would never take the trash out with shoes on, then go in for the night. Yeah. Too many. Oh, Daniel, sorry you're having so much trouble. But, buddy, you're in the right place if you're in the hospital and have that kind of issue happening. They can help. You're at the right place. I'll tell you, like I always told my kids when they would get so sad and upset and depressed and everything like that, I would always tell them, life is like a math equation. And you always have to look for the positive in every negative. Because to solve your problem, you have to find all the positives. And the positives always seem to outweigh the negative. So hang in there, buddy. We have faith in a God that is greater than any sickness on this earth. Okay, I will definitely check them out. Well, guys, I've kept y'all on here for a couple hours, so I'm going to let y'all get out of here. Football's about to start. I love me some football. But we'll be back again tomorrow, okay? So y'all hang tight. Be safe out on these YouTube streets. There's a lot of bad being put out. A lot of things being made out of something that's really nothing. And remember, Sebastian is the reason we're all here. We're not here for the drama or the hate. We're here to help. And that is something I have to remind myself of every single day. Oh, baseball's on again tonight. Oh, man. I might have to double screen it here in a minute. Y'all know I like my ball playing. I like the baseball and the football. And little man had his tournament. It was, 2.5 hours away. So I didn't get to go watch him, but he did so good. I just got a text and he made it to the championship as well. So we had a good family weekend with some ball playing. Today we're just enjoying watching it on TV. So, guys, I just appreciate each and every one of you for all that you do, for being here, listening, encouraging, and not being hateful towards people, because that is so important to me. I want people here that surrounds each other and encourages everybody, because this can really weigh on you heavy. And so if we're all here together encouraging each other, we can continue. And we're doing it for Sebastian. I think it won't be long before people start heading to Pigfest. Please start praying about that, because we need to pray a hedge of protection around them. I have a funny feeling that law enforcement is on high alert because they're friends with those who actually know what happened to Sebastian, in my opinion. And I don't want any harm come to them. We all saw what happened with Bullhorn Betty. She was just hanging up flyers and got followed by Mr. Bowersox, and she got out and confronted him. And look how all that turned out. They'll make something out of anything. And let's hope everyone that goes to support Sebastian and to keep his name out there to people who might not know he is still missing. Although the city of Hendersonville wants nothing to do with it. There's this thing called, we live in America, and there are things we're allowed to freely do. It doesn't say except for the city of Hendersonville and the county of Sumner. We all live in the same land. We share the same air, the same stars and moon and sun and all the things. And so let's pray for their safety, because there's a lot of evil in that town. Thank you all for being here tonight. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for the gifts, the membership gifting, the super stickers, all the things that you do, guys. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. And until tomorrow, guys, y'all be safe and love and hugs. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.